Welcome to Hot Springs National Park in Hot Springs, Arkansas. It is home to snow, not hot springs as you look around.
Oh, bummer, they're closed? 1 year with our van, and we're celebrating the best way on day one of our winter road trip adventure. Every year, we try to escape the cold Wisconsin and Illinois winters with a road trip to the West Coast, a tradition we've kept for the past 18 years. But ever since we got our leisure travel van last year, we've made it a point to explore more historical places along the way and visit incredible places like national parks. Last year, we stopped at Petrified Forest National Park, and this year, with a little extra time we got, we plan to visit 3 national parks: Hot Springs in Arkansas, White Sands in New Mexico, and the Saguaros in Arizona.
Cheers! 1 year!
Today marks 1 year since we picked up our leisure travel van, and what a better way to celebrate than hitting the road. Our first anniversary with our home on wheels, and we're kicking it off in the best possible way. In just 12 months, we put 25,000 miles in it, making the most of every adventure and loving every moment on the road. We love the way it handles and made it cozy, just like we have not left our home. So far, we've driven it to Florida twice, to Colorado Springs also twice, to Kentucky, New Orleans, North Dakota, Washington State, and down to Idaho. And we did a lot of weekend trips to our neighboring states to do some biking during summer and fall. We're not fully time yet, and we'll probably never be, but we'll really enjoy the ride and trips with it, and it just fits perfect with our travel lifestyle. After an 8-hour drive today, we wrapped up our anniversary with a simple but delicious dinner in our van. We're having our first dinner here, and we stopped at the barbecue place. So let's see, I have a fish meal here. Some kind of a fish
And I
meal.
have an order of ribs.
Yeah, look at that. It's so huge.
That's crazy.
So we finally arrived here in Arkansas late at night, and we decided to stop for the night at Cracker Barrel just outside Hot Springs, Arkansas. Good morning! Wow, look at all this snow they have. I didn't realize it can snow this much here.
Yeah, it looks like a hot spring, all right. Cold spring, snow spring.
We'll see what we're gonna do here today. Looks like the town is empty.
Not what we were expecting when we're going to come to Hot Springs, Arkansas.
At the light, turn right onto Central Avenue. Then the destination is on your right.
We get to be the only tourist in town so far, it looks like, so we're going to enjoy Hot Springs National Park. Actually, we just got unlucky and came here right after an ice storm, so they are not prepared for this kind of snow.
So Hot Springs National Park is the only national park in the nation that sits in the middle of downtown area. And as we drove around, we got an eerie feeling that there's hardly anybody here at this time. We've seen so many pictures and videos about this place, and this town seems always full of life and so crowded. And to see this today, that just makes us feel sad or disappointed. But on the other hand, we'll just look at it as a different perspective of the park with season change, so you can plan when to visit here. But as what the locals said, winter here is not so bad, except this year.
I don't see any place where I can pull over and park at.
So we decided to park here because we cannot find any closer parking to the visitor center. We're gonna walk about 14 minutes, about only 2 miles.
20.
It's just us.
We're the tourists of National Park to ourselves, the whole town.
In 1900s, Hot Springs is the birthplace of Major League Baseball spring training due to health benefits of taking the baths. The players tended to drink heavily and believe that hot bath regimen can boil out the impurities in their system. Famous players who visited here were Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Jackie Robinson, and many more great baseball players.
Oh, see? I almost slipped too.
I was talking to the snowplow driver and asked him if they get snow like this very often. He's like, no, once every 5 or so years. I go, we can tell. Us Wisconsinites would have had this taken care of already.
This is the most accessible national park in the nation and does not require a national park pass or permit. As we were researching about this park, we were surprised to know about a lot of interesting stuff about Hot Springs. But actually, this is the oldest U.S. national park managed by National Park System, predating Yellowstone by 40 years. An act was created by U.S. Congress in April 20th, 1832 to preserve this park for future recreation and established before the concept of national park existed, and it became officially a national park in March 4th, 1921. They're famous for their ancient thermal springs, which they believe the water has a lot of medicinal purposes, which is about 4,000 years old. We are here at the Bathhouse Row, their main popular site. There's about originally 8 bathhouses built between 1892 to 1923, but only 2 are operating today. For this bathhouse is the visitor center and the museum, which we were really looking forward to see inside, but we found out that all the bathhouses are closed today except for just one that we'll be able to go in and see later today. Well, I guess just another reason for us to come back here again on a better weather condition. So for now, we'll just admire the beautiful ornate architectural designs of these bathhouses from outside.
Open or?
11 o'clock.
The beer's not frozen. We are here at the Cascading Pools. When I listen to this story, it's pretty amazing. So the water that we see right now is over 4,000 years old. It lands on the ground quite a ways from here. It works its way down through the soil, down through cracks and everything slowly. This is all scientifically measured now. And then it ends up falling by the geothermal layers of the earth, not by volcanic. And so it falls down through different cracks until it's between 18 and 2,400 meters into the crust of the earth. Then it finds cracks and it gets heated to approximately 150 some degrees Fahrenheit. Then it works its way along a fault line and comes out here. It comes along that fault line pretty rapidly from what I understand. And so when it hits these pools, we're still in the 140, 130 range. And you got 2 pools here, the one there and one here. And there's definitely a difference in water temperature just between the first one right there that the water flows into and this second one right here that is the second pool. There's about a 15-degree temperature in water from my touch, I'm guessing. The top pool and probably around 90 in the bottom pool here. Any hotter than a regular hot tub. They say it's still too hot to bathe in, but it didn't feel like it was hotter than a regular hot tub. I'm gonna guess our temperature right now in these is right around 104, 106 in the top pool and probably around 90 in the bottom pool here.
Well, bathhouses are closed. What else can we do here? Let's try to check out how bad is the snow up here, where they have this scenic walk path at this grand promenade on top behind the bathhouse row. Hopefully the ground is not so slippery. So they're supposed to have a nice mountain views and forested hikes here that we wish we can explore. But it seems like most of the roads and trails are not cleaned up yet after that big snowstorm they got 5 days ago.
And here we have one of the spring collection boxes. boxes here are over individual springs that run all that water into a central pipe down to the bathhouse. So with these individual springs, the temperature varies a little bit more in the water temperature. The bathhouses didn't like it when the people would come up here and their feet and bodies into the springs. Water would leave the spring here, go down to the bathhouse. They said the water quality wasn't as good. And so they talked the city and the capping, keeping it to where people couldn't get into these. And then that way they had pure spring water for their paying customers.
Here's the first Army and Navy hospital built in 1887, the location allowed to take advantage of hot water coming out of hot springs mountains, and thermal baths became part of treatment regimen for many illnesses. It was chosen as the Thriter Center in 1940s, and many soldiers were also treated here for polio using the first therapeutic pool filled with thermal water from the springs. So the patients here are encouraged to exercise along the numerous trails and wear the promenade, and they entered through this gate. The hospital was closed in 1955 and was sold to state of Arkansas for $1. Became the Arkansas Career State Training Institute. It's now abandoned and occupied except for the presence of many ghosts and spirits haunting it. We're stopping by here at the Superior Bathhouse, the only one that's open here today, and we'll get something for lunch. This is the only brewery in a U.S. national park and the only one in the world that utilize thermal spring water in their beer. So let's check it out.
This is the Grandma's Cookie, and this one is the Gremlin's Trout. It's not bad, it's different.
Spicy.
It's good.
Spicy, but it's good.
It'll clear your nostrils, but it's
This is
good.
really good. Sweet potato, fries.
Then after lunch, we passed by Gangster Museum of America. They highlight the stories of many notorious gangsters who used to vacation here, like Al Capone, Frank Costello, Bugs Moran, and Lucky Luciano, but unfortunately they're closed too.
I need a shovel. There was at Lowe's or the day before I
Oh,
got
sold out.
Right.
Okay, so we'll try their hot springs water here, cause why not, right?
We could have parked here earlier. Look at that RV park close to the main street, but it's covered with snow earlier, so we can't really see it. Well, that was fun. That was different kind of a national park visit. So
We didn't get to do anything we wanted to
yes,
except for eat.
but we got to see some of the
Yeah.
steaming hot
We used to get to see
springs.
inside into the
Yeah, I
bathhouse.
do.
We really wanted to see it.
So we're gonna head now to Cadillac Ranch in Texas. That's about 8 hours from here. So we'll get there. If we're gonna drive straight, we'll get there around 9:46 at night. Because the last time we drove by there, right, it is really windy.
Breeze and 35, 40 mile an hour winds.
So we didn't stop. So we are about to cross to Oklahoma from Arkansas.
Arkansas, sweet! Oklahoma!
What is the sweet?
The Razorbacks. That's their,
Oh, I
that's their college. They're the Arkansas Razorbacks, and their
Oh.
call sign is sweet, sweet.
Well, the best thing of having this LTV is you can stop anywhere and any time and take a nap when the driver is tired with the puppies.
That's the time again, so he's gonna wear this glove.
Because Diesel's dirty.
These dogs are ready to go.
Then we get to have our dinner in our van in the parking lot of the gas station with our leftovers from last night. And ice cream at Brahms before we hit our last stop for the night.
I have cappuccino with chocolate chunks and German chocolate.
And I have some vanilla with Butterfinger. And what's the other one?
Black walnut.
And last stop, a Texas border just like last year.